The woman changed her story, the district attorney is corrupt, and the police are who we thought they were. After the day in court, Jonathan Major's hearing ended with a motion filed that says you guys have until May 23rd to answer all of our evidence, and then we'll have until May 31 to bounce back, and everyone will find out the truth on June 12th after both sides get to say what they were going to say. Was any new photos coming from the woman's side or the prosecution side presented? No. Was any of the new women? Because there was multiple alleged victims. I could have sworn that there were multiple alleged victims from sources familiar to the case who reported to Variety. I could have sworn there was a case like that. I could have sworn, but no, there was no. Actually, let me check with the woman from New York. Alicia, who showed up in court?
No one, no one, no one.
That's exactly right. No one. All the chatter, issues are looking worse. I hope Variety now does a headline. Issues looking better because nothing has actually come to fruition and the only one who's telling the truth is Jonathan Majors. Hey, remember that phone call that he called that was actually him who dialed 911? Turns out that was confirmed over here. So a lot of these things that came out on one side are being proven to be false and stories got to change. And then things on one other side are actually coming from Jonathan Majors and only being validated. Let's read the story coming from Deadline. They never use a smiling face, do they? Jonathan Majors could be imprisoned for up to a year if found guilty of a charge unveiled this morning in his domestic violence case. It's funny how that's been the beginning sentence in a lot of headlines. We're talking about how he'll be found guilty, it'll be a whole year. Yeah, we kind of know that. That's what happens in these domestic violence cases. We actually understood the severity of what could happen if he's found to be guilty. So for it to begin that way, it's so weird. It's like it's preparing you to believe that he's guilty. I don't like that. At the same time, the actor's attorney today slammed proceedings as a byproduct of the racial bias that permeates the criminal justice system. And I would have started with that. Actually, I would have started it the way I began this video, which I intentionally did, because the biggest news story coming out of this is she lied. Is she changed her story. And she is winning the court of public opinion and coming out and showing people, oh, look, actually, here she is at the club right afterwards. Couldn't be true, this and that. All of that is now being used so that the district attorney can fix up the case, quote, fix the case so it matches and so it could actually be believable. Winning the court of public opinion has now hurt the court, the day in court or the hearing, because now that they're not going to run with the BS that they were going to run with the police report and everything. By the way, guys, the police report. Okay, I said this in the last video and I'll say it again and I may say it's a little slower. Listen, the reason we are here is because an officer showed up at this guy's penthouse suite, okay? He goes, this can't be where you live. Then he goes, you had to have been responsible for her illness or her disorientation. And then he goes, we have to coach this woman to say that it was true. And according to this, we're going to read, he was actually saying stuff like, I could slap you, won't even break a finger. We had racist with a capital R, racism playing in full effect. There were 3 cops who showed up there, and none of those, they were all white officers, and none of those white officers wanted to step in to be like, hey bro, let's do the right thing. And they have body cameras on us. And because of what the cops did, that got him arrested, which got TMZ to report a domestic violence, which got representation and other people who believe that, the Houston Astros, I believe, from Major League Baseball, Texas Rangers, and we've got, who else dropped him? There was the Army dropped his ads, and a couple of movies are not going to be made because of a cop is very responsible for beginning this. This day in court, which will now be moved to May 23rd, which gets forwarded to May 31, which gets to June 12th, where he's going to appear in court. This is all because when the officer who was responding to I got to go to this penthouse, because that guy is a hateful human being with prejudice in his heart and bias that has been reinforced by media. This, bro, the way I talk about racism, the way I talk to you guys about the importance of diversity, inclusion in film, and seeing black people star in lead protagonist roles that are not stereotypical. If this officer this New York cop grew up in a world where there was plenty of, like, for example, there's the Indiana Jones movie. Let's just pretend we live in an alternate universe. It wasn't Han Solo, it wasn't Harrison Ford, it was Morgan Freeman, who was cast to be Indiana Jones by George Lucas all those years back. And we had like a hero like that. Imagine if we just, instead of all these white heroes being deemed to be important. Imagine if we had people with dark skin tones, like darker than Chillmonger's skin tone. Imagine if we had that, and how that would have affected the amount of like value and worth people who become cops saw in the people that they are policing. Imagine if the young people who are of that skin tone had that to look up to as an image, and what we would do to their aspirations. Media and the portrayal of people, all people, matters. It's significant, it's meaningful, and it could prevent cases like this from happening. And Jonathan Majors is in a great place as an actor with status to now be part of the solution of that, to take roles that are leads, to kill it, to kill it, to be positive, for positivity. So break over. That's just my thing about my thing about representation. I'll be funny again. Like, I'll be funny. I'll tell a joke. Look, this was Jonathan Majors in court today.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Deadline says Tuesday's swift status conference at the Manhattan Criminal Court building comes 6 weeks after appearing virtually for the hearing. I'm seeing again many headlines discussing how the judge told them you actually got to be there in court the next time. And Zoom this time is fine, but you got to show up or you're going to be charged. That's not really a news story. That's like, you guys are just really trying to paint him in a way to prepare people to view him as a person worthy of a charge. Of course he's going to show up in person when he has to show up in court in person. It's a non-story, but for some reason a lot of people start their tweets with that or their headlines with that. Yeah, okay. He's in Zoom right now, and when he has to appear in court physically, he'll appear physically. He's not fleeing anything. He's actually doing everything the way you're supposed to. Why have a photo of you with paparazzi waiting outside the court office or the Manhattan Criminal Court building with photos just for another negative press photo? You don't need that. So he's doing the right thing. Appearing virtually for the hearing, the Creed 3 actor saw the Manhattan District Attorney's Office make a public superseding complaint with a charge of third-degree assault. The Class A misdemeanor has a maximum possible sentence of 12 months behind the... Yep, that's right. Barely visible to the gallery on screens facing away from the seats, Majors did not enter a plea to the new charge. Good to know. In fact, he was dressed in a beige shirt against a pale, off-white background on screen. Majors had little to say Tuesday beyond, "Yes, ma'am," to the judge Rachel S. Pauley. Good. The next hearing in the matter has been set for June 13. I like it. Let the evidence do the talking, and then on June 13 at that hearing, woof, it's on. Judge says, "I'm required to inform you that, as you know, if you fail to appear in court on June 13, a warrant can be issued for your arrest within 48 hours, and you're brought back on the warrant. The next judge can revoke and even set bail." I obviously don't want that to happen. I like the way that the judge words this, specifically this part here, where she goes, "as you know." It's like, this is just for formality that I'm explaining to you. I'm being impartial right now. Just got to repeat these things because it's just the court proceedings. I'm not accusing you of gonna flee the place and not be back for 48 hours. Just, as you know, I'm required to inform you this. That's fair. That's nice to hear that this isn't the district attorney's office is going to be like when you see what they say. Additionally, Judge Pauley reminded the conference in Majors that he must abide by the orders of protection, barring him any contact with the woman in question. Order of protection is not an issue because he wants no contact with this woman who, bro, saying things that were, starts with an S, but mentally wasn't there. She was saying stuff like, "I'm angry at you for breaking up with me," but at no point was she texting him during the entire night anything to do with any harm physically done to her, but she was mad at him, but she didn't say that. And then we saw what happened when she turned up in his home and she was going through a mental breakdown, and then we saw text messages afterwards like, no, I take back my words, I didn't mean it like that, it's all my fault. And then we get to this where now she's on the opposite side of him in court. There's so many directions that she's flowing and going in that she really doesn't have credibility, especially when what was reported to the police now with all the video evidence which has been presented has been proven to be a lie or could not have happened, which is why she's got to change her story. Anyone who thinks Majors is guilty, you guys want to take that one back? Outside of court today, Majors' lawyer Priya Chaudhary was blistering in her assessment of the DA's case. "We have provided the DA with irrefutable evidence that the woman is lying, including video proof showing nothing happened, especially Not where she claimed, the lawyer said, which would mean at the back of that car, whether it was a taxi cab or a ride sharing app. She called it a taxi initially, Priya Chaudhry, but I've heard an Indian person in my real life called a Uber a taxi, and I'm like, taxi? Oh no, I just call it whatever. It's a taxi. Priya Chaudhry, Indian or Indian descent. That's my 2 cents on this, the chillmonger take. But it could have been a rideshare. Anyways, there's now video that they were showed. There's video proof showing that nothing happened, especially not where she claimed, the lawyer said. That's really heavy, and this is the day in court. This isn't her saying stuff about, oh, I got it, I'm telling you TMZ, I got it, I'm telling you Deadline, I'm telling you Daily Beast. It's happened in court, guys. You still think Jonathan Majors is guilty? Okay. We did this with the explicit promise from the district attorney that they would not fix their case and change it as we proved the woman is lying. Yeah, guess who the district attorney is? Not your friend. Corrupt. I'll show you the video. Just promise you're not going to change what the words are in court. But here's the video that actually, you should throw it out. District Attorney's Office, I know you guys are here. Taxpayer dollars. I know you guys are here for the righteous. So here's the video that disproves what was claimed in that police report, that there's no possible way that this happened in that car, because here's the video of it not happening. All right? Promise you're not going to change what she says? Promise. Give us the video. Here we are in court, and she changes what she says, and they changed their story. This is a witch hunt against Jonathan Majors, driven by baseless claims, driven by provenly false claims. Chaudhry went on to say, citing a glaring double standard in a statement to Deadline. It was a statement to everyone, not just you, Deadline. Instead of dismantling the allegations in the face of the woman's clear lies, the DA has adjusted the charges to match the woman's new lies.
Damn, who knew?
To be clear, there are no new charges against Mr. Majors. What about all those women? No? There's no new women, eh? Just corrupt police officers, huh? They must have not been listening to Chameleonaire.
When they smiling, thinking they'll catch me in the wrong and keep trying. Denying that it's racial profiling.
Without providing any details, she added, now we have obtained even more video evidence of his innocence. Good. Never show me that video evidence. Chillmonger does not need to know. I can do without the video showing that. I can do without the thumbnail saying, oh, he's innocent. I'm good. Win court of public opinion after you win this case. Because you saw what happened when you displayed the first set of images and video proof, and they used that to go, okay, well, we can't go that route, we'll change our answers. So just win this court case. You have on May 23rd, they're going to try to do some stuff and then whoop their butt at May 31, and then June 12th, after that hearing, the judge will be able to dismiss this case. It will not go to trial. That is the way the justice system should work. The way the Justice League should work too. So we have obtained more evidence of his innocence, but we are hesitant to share it, for the fear the DA will tip the woman off to charge her story again. How is that not the headline of every article covering this case? The criminal justice system is saturated with explicit and implicit bias. Is she a rapper? When Mr. Majors showed a white police officer the injuries the woman caused him, you mean he had injuries and he shows the cop this and he wouldn't believe it? You mean the cop are corrupt and viewed him not as innocent till proven guilty, but black until proven not guilty? Showed the woman caused him, the white officer got in Mr. Majors' face and taunted him, saying that if the officer were to slap Mr. Majors, the officer wouldn't break his finger. Is that the taunt? I would like to see what the taunt how it goes. And I'm sure if she's mentioning that a taunt happened, it'll come and we'll see it actually in the video, the body cam footage video, which they do have body cam footage. And I'm sure that the good guys, Jonathan Major's side, will release it as soon as they have the court case dismissed, won, and he's gonna be like, by the way, here's what actually happened. And I'm happy that all the people who dropped him, because we don't need you as part of this Jonathan Majors train. And we need other actors to now understand who all you people are and never to do business with you guys for casting him away for no reason, with no evidence, and lying. None of the white officers present investigated the assault of Mr. Majors. Worse, the district attorney has not indicated any intention to pursue charges against the woman or even investigate the truth. You know why? Because the district attorney is not here for you. The DA is here to get you. That's the truth of the matter. We can see that a district attorney's not supposed to be that biased towards this woman. Supposed to be looking out for the best case scenario. Let's be helpful and useful to all parties. Let's have the law be upheld. But no, they're not caring about what Jonathan Majors went through, anything, even though he's presenting actual evidence of his injuries. The woman doesn't present any actual evidence to the cops about her injuries. She doesn't even remember what's happening. She says, I don't know what happened 19 times, but it's that 20th time where the cop coaches her to actually say that Jonathan Majors choked you. By the way, that choke, that's not in here anymore. That report that, oh, there was supposed to be a choke, nope. In the time between his arrest and March 25, Majors' previously high-flying career trajectory has been in a tailspin. Let's take a pause on that. His most important role, Marvel, has not been taken from him at all. They're actually doing a responsible thing and waiting to see what happens. And they only have to wait until June 12th. And I don't think that they're going to go, oh, okay, we waited too long now. A whole nother month. I think they're good on that. Avengers Kang Dynasty is happening. The Loki new season will probably be announced to come out after Ahsoka during September. Maybe even July. I don't know. But the new Loki series will come after the Secret Invasion show, after the Ahsoka show on Disney Plus. So there's no immediate kind of worry about, oh, how are we going to have this actor who's convicted, should he be convicted, or going to face trial, because they don't have to worry about that, because June 12th is a soon enough date. So his career is not in a tailspin. His career is in negativity zone from hateful beings. But on June 12th, and everyone who's watching this, get on your Twitter accounts on June 12th, if that's the day that everything's dismissed, and be vocal. You want to save this man's career? Make it very known that he's not guilty. Go tweet, retweet things like to boost the visibility of certain tweets that are positive news stories of Jonathan Majors. What your job is to do, if you actually care, is to counter all of the last, it would be 2 months of negative headlines regarding this guy associated with him. You need to do your job to save this man's career, to make sure that he's innocent is just as loud or louder than the stuff saying that he was guilty. And even if that means take like every group. I know that there's going to be groups that kind of dismiss the race aspect, and they go more so, well, he's a man, and when men are convicted, they're guilty just because off of that. They're men, so too bad, men. There's a bunch of men people. I'm gonna like all of their tweets too, just to get everything out there. It's not a man thing, guys. When the cop shows up at his penthouse, he's not surprised that a man owns this property. It's a race thing. But boost, be loud. June 12th is your time to shine. You are actually literally the most important person in Jonathan Majors' career. You're the public. I don't know how many people will see this video here. Maybe a couple hundred. Maybe it'll go bigger than 100. But it's your job to be loud. Deadline adds that he's still represented by WME. The actor has faced rumors of other incidents and inappropriate behavior, but no one, nor any concrete evidence has emerged on that front. Not one. Remember that? It's not. Are we off that topic now? The alleged women. Oh, the DA it's stacking up for him. Remember that news story? Ariana, remember that news story? Okay then. What is on the public record is a complaint from the DA's office on Majors on March 25 striking the woman. That's on public record. A complaint from the DA's office on Majors. Really interesting. About the face with an open hand causing substantial pain and a laceration behind her ear. Okay, that's what you're saying? Cool. Is there a photo provided of this laceration across the ear? In what the NYPD later called a domestic dispute, Majors allegedly forcefully took the woman's hand, causing swelling, bruising, and a substantial pain to her finger, and supposedly put his hand on her neck. In the superseding information submitted today, the neck reference was gone. Degeneration X, they said. But the DA's paperwork now also said, I further observed the defendant grab my right arm, place it behind my body, and use his hands to twist my right forearm and right middle finger, causing substantial pain. See, you can say that causes you pain, but it's not going to leave a mark or a bruise or nothing, but you can say it caused you pain to my right forearm and my right middle finger. Yeah, it was painful. It's not gonna leave a mark, so I can't really show you that. But it was painful. It was hard on me. All that pain that I had. You lied to me. You can tell I enjoy doing these videos. Citing text messages and security camera footage from the end of the march, Majors' lawyer Chaudhry has repeatedly reiterated her client's initial not guilty plea and insisted that he is the victim here, not the aggressor. It has been confirmed by law enforcement that it was Majors who called 911 the night of the incident. See? It's confirmed. Does that change your guys' mind? I know it doesn't, but now that it's proven he was the one who made the call, does that make you get off of that? No? Like, you guys really think that a dark-skinned human being living in New York, raised in the country of America, thought, you know what? It's a best case scenario only when I dial 911 to help this woman. He called 911 on himself, people? Yes, order of protection, and then like today, the lawyer has previously cited that the NYPD officers on the scene that night at Major's apartment, Chaudhry claims the cops were coaching the alleged victim to accuse Mr. Majors of assault, even pantomiming what she should say. Whether that comes up in the motion the defense filed today, it will come up in the motion that the defense filed today. That is to be discussed at next month's hearing. It remains to be seen. Yeah, it'll be happening for sure if it happened, and especially if it's on camera. Woo! That motion that the defense has filed is the story here. The fact that no other woman came forward is the story here. The fact that the initial woman who recanted her statements, that's the story. The text messages changed, her opinion on the matter changed, the story is being changed, the district attorney's not even looking into Jonathan Majors' pain. Pretty open shut case. I think the judge knows what to do with it. Now, whether or not Jonathan Majors is a bad guy, abusive person or nothing, that can't be proven. That can never be proven. But guys, your neighbor right now could be guilty of things too, and you wouldn't know the truth of that. You need evidence to prove whether or not this guy is what you are claiming for him to be. He could have not done it on March 24th, but it was on March 20th. That was when all these bad things happened. I'm just using it now. Like, I don't know. Jonathan Majors could be evil. Could be. Possible. So could I. So could you. Except you would know if you're evil or not. So no, not so could you. But people you don't know need proof to be taken down. Lose their jobs. They need to go to court. They need to have evidence filed against them. They need substantial time to prove themselves innocent. And then we go and we see. And if someone's not proven to be guilty, I don't care what the allegation is. You're not guilty. I'll be doing follow-up videos on this case, hopefully on a day that my right eye doesn't have a fly that flew in when I was bike riding. But that video right over there, that video is the next video following this. If nothing's there, then nothing's there. Nothing's there yet because I haven't done a video. But watch one of my old videos that I did covering this because they're just as entertaining and informative. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up the video if you agree. If you disagree, write some stupid comment and I will pin it.